They told us Africa was cursed with poverty, cursed with conflict, cursed with chaos. But what if the truth is the opposite? What if Africa is not cursed at all, but blessed beyond measure? Before the maps were carved and the borders drawn like scars across her skin, Africa pulsed with abundance. Not just gold beneath the soil, but civilizations rising above it. Imagine the Nile at sunrise, mist lifting gently from its surface as fishermen cast their nets. Along its banks, one of the world's earliest civilization engineered pyramids so precise they still defy modern explanation. Mathematics etched into stone, astronomy aligned with stars, time itself measured in shadow and light. This was not a barren land. This was a birthplace. Travel west across the Sahara, a sea of sand glowing like molten copper under the sun. For centuries, caravans crossed its vast silence, camels swaying beneath loads of salt and gold. And at the desert edge stood Timbuktu, not a myth, not a mirage, a city of scholars. Inside mud bricks, university. Universities' manuscripts were copied by hand. Tests on medicine, algebra, philosophy, poetry, thousands upon thousands of them, while parts of Europe were emerging from the Dark Ages. West Africa was debating law under lantern light, ink-stained fingers turning pages that carried knowledge across continents. Blessed with intellect, move south, where the earth turned green and the forest thickened. There in what is now Nigeria, the Kingdom of Benin mastered bronze casting with such breathtaking detail that each sculpture seemed to breathe. Kings immortalized in metal, history preserved in fire, art not as decoration but as archive. Blessed with creativity, further down, the stone wall of Great Zimbabwe rise from the savannah like a crown. Massive granite blocks stuck without mortar, fitted so precisely they have stood for centuries. No cranes, no modern tools, just engineering brilliance carved from the landscape itself. Traders moved through its gates carrying ivory, gold, and stories from distant shores. Blessed with innovation. African is blessed with innovation. And along the swirly coast, while the Indian Ocean kisses Africa's eastern edge, coral stone cities shimmered in the salt air. Merchants from Arabia, Persia, India, and China docked their ship in bustling ports. Spices perfumed the market. Silk brushed against carved wooden doors. Africa was not isolated. She was connected, a heartbeat in the global exchange of goods and ideas. African is blessed with position. Then there is the land itself. Stand in the serenity as dawn break. The horizon stretches endlessly, painted in amber and rose. Wild beasts thunder across open plains. Elephants move like ancient monuments in motion. The Congo Basin breathes, one of the planet's largest rainforests, lungs of the earth. Beneath African soil lie diamond, cobalt, gold, oil, resources that power the modern world. African is blessed with wealth. Yet, there is the paradox. Yet, here is the paradox. The same abundance that makes African blessed has also made her targeted. Empires did not cross ocean for empty land. They came because Africa was rich, rich in minerals, rich in labor, rich in knowledge. The transatlantic slave trade did not drain a weak continent. It drained a strong one. Imagine villages torn apart under moonlight, drums silenced, generations stolen, and still the rhythm survived. Because Africa's greatest blessing has never only been what lies in her grounds. It is what lies in her people. Listen to the drum beats echoing through West African night air. It is not just music, it is memory. Polyrhythms layered like history itself. Call and response, a conversation across generation. Those rims crossed the Atlantic in chains and became blues, jazz, gospel, hip hop, the soundtrack of the modern world. African is blessed with resilience. In Ethiopia's highland, rock-hewn churches were carved downward into living stone. Entire sanctuaries sculptured from earth itself. In Mali, Mansa Musa's words reshaped economy. In Kush, warrior queens negotiated with Rome. In Morocco, a woman named Fatima Al-Firi founded the world's oldest continuing operating university over 1,000 years ago. African is blessed with leadership. Even in 20th century, when colonization gripped nearly every corner of the continent, voices rose. Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana declaring independence. Nelson Mandela walking free after 27 years in prison, choosing reconciliation over revenge. Wangari Maathai planting millions of trees across Kenya, turning environmental activism into a continental movement. African is blessed with vision. But perhaps the deepest blessing is something harder to measure. It is the laughter of children playing football on dusty streets as the sun dips low. It is in markets bustling with color, mangoes stuck in pyramids, fabrics glowing in indigo and crimson. It is in languages, over 2,000 of them, each carrying a unique worldview, a distinct realm of thoughts. Africa is not one story, it is thousands braided together. Yet, there are challenges, poverty, political instability, inequality. But challenges do not erase blessing. They exist alongside them. The acacia tree survived the dry season not because the drought is kind, but because its roots run deep. And African's roots are ancient. Long before the world civilization was spoken in English, society thrived along the Niger River. Long before global trade network were mapped in textbook, African sail navigated currents and winds. Long before modern university printed diplomas, scholars gather in courtyard beneath African style. So why does the narrative so often focus on our struggle? Because blessing is powerful and power draws attention. Look again at the continent from above. 54 nations, stretching from the Mediterranean to the Cape of Good Hope. A youthful population, creativity exploding through music, through fashion, technology. Lagos buzzing with innovation. Nairobi rising as a tech hub. Gilgali rebuilding bold ambition. The story is still being written. Africa is blessed with the youngest population on earth, a generation wide, connected ambitions, entrepreneurs coding in co-working spaces, designers remaining tradition, filmmakers telling stories once ignored. The future is not waiting elsewhere, it is growing here. So the next time someone says African is cursed, ask them this: cursed with what? With being the cradle of humanity? Scientists traced our earliest ancestors to this soil. Every human being on this planet can trace their lineage back to Africa. In that sense, Africa is not just blessed, she is origin. Stand at the edge of Victoria Fall as millions of gallons of water crush into the gorge below, mist rising like smoke into the sky. The locals call it the smoke that thunders. It is overwhelming, powerful, uncontainable. That is Africa. The continent that endured exploitation and still produces beauty, that has faced division and still sings in harmony, that has been misrepresented and still rises. Blessed with land, blessed with mind, blessed with culture, blessed with spirit. The narrative may have been distorted, the image may have been blurred, but look closer. Beneath the dust of history, beyond the headlines, past the stereotypes, Africa is not a continent waiting to be saved. It is a continent remembering who it has always been. Blessed. Don't forget to like, share, and comment, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.